Seems like, in part because of what Steve was just talking about, that $4 trillion in market cap for that company is a formality with Nvidia at this point.
It seems like that's the case at this point.
Is that how it feels like this is up and away? I mean, nothing can stop this
I
thing?
think we're going to start seeing more competition. You know, obviously there's going to be other solutions that are available. We're starting to see that. I think there's going to be other options available for folks. But nonetheless, I think Nvidia at this point, clear leader and setting the tone for things to come.
When you hear that other companies, you know, AWS, I mean, Amazon making their own chips and others too, to your point, that give you any pause at all over where Nvidia is relative to everybody else, even if other competitors are coming?
It would if it were the case that we believe that the growth was stalling out for AI. In fact, it's actually increasing. So I think with that bigger pie, Nvidia will still play an important role, albeit even with increased competition.
When you look at all of these companies, do you have any pause in your belief that they can continue to do what they've done, whether it's from a public equity standpoint, all of the spending that they've done, the return on the investment that they're getting today versus what they think they're going to get tomorrow? Are you as optimistic halfway through this year as you were at the beginning?
I mean, let's look at what happened towards the end of last year and the first half of this year, right? We saw a lot of headwinds that pulled down not only big tech stocks, but the market in general. But I think what we've seen now is this resilience around tech. It's largely led by AI, right? We see that they're probably going to have like almost up to $2 trillion in spending on AI. It's here. And that has both shown in the case of Nvidia. I think it's also shown in the case of Apple. And the point was made earlier, Microsoft's layoffs. I want to talk about that.
In recent years, Nvidia and Palantir technologies have emerged as two of the leading artificial intelligence (AI) winners. Investors may be asking which stock has the most potential for further growth given the amount of increase both stocks have previously seen. Palantir is the obvious response to that query, mostly since it is a lot smaller business. Let's examine what each stock has to offer, as both have strong upside potential. With good reason, Nvidia has emerged as the top platform for AI infrastructure. The data center AI build-out relies heavily on the company's graphics processing units, GPUs, and the numbers speak for themselves. Just 2 years ago, Nvidia's data center revenue was $4.3 billion, but last quarter it reached $39.1 billion, more than 9 times that amount. It is unprecedented for a company to grow so much, and Nvidia's dominance in the market is the primary cause of this. It's not simply its hardware that make Nvidia unique. The moat is made by its CUDA software platform. Nvidia developed CUDA to allow developers to program its chips for various purposes, although GPUs were initially built to help speed up graphics rendering in video games. Although it took a while for GPUs to become widely used outside of video games, Nvidia made the wise choice to introduce CUDA into academic institutions and research labs at an early stage. This was where early AI development started and made sure developers learned how to program GPUs on its software. On top of CUDA, Nvidia has developed a comprehensive suite of tools and libraries in recent years that can accelerate development and enhance chip performance. The outcome? 92% of the GPU market in Q1. That lead isn't Nvidia's only strategy. To assist maintain its market leadership, it has accelerated the development cycle of its chips from releases roughly every 2 years to new releases once a year. The business is also making inroads into other rapidly expanding fields, such as driverless driving. Nvidia anticipates that automotive revenue will reach $5 billion this year, up 72% year over year to $567 million in the most recent quarter. However, the rule of huge numbers does apply since the corporation is currently approaching a $4 trillion market cap. Even though Nvidia is a fantastic company, the percentage gains might not be as significant as they have been in the past. The days of its share price doubling or tripling in a year might be over, but it's still a good stock to own in the long run. On the hardware side, Nvidia dominates the AI market, but Palantir wants to dominate the software side as well. What makes the company so appealing is that it has approached AI in a totally different way than most. Instead than vying to create the best AI model, it has created the orchestration layer that enables those models to function in practical settings. Hospital risk monitoring and insurance underwriting are only 2 of the businesses that are now using the company's artificial intelligence platform, AIP. It recently unveiled new AI agents that are capable of carrying out suggestions in addition to suggesting actions. With overall sales rising 39% year over year, Palantir just reported its 8th consecutive quarter of rapid revenue growth. Future deal value increased by 127%, while U.S. commercial sales increased by 71%. That demonstrates that AIP is gaining significant traction and is more than just buzz. With U.S. government income up 45%, the company's government business is still doing well. Additionally, a recent NATO victory may make foreign defense a third pillar of prosperity. The business has a distinct position in the AI market, despite the stock trading at an extremely high price-to-sales (PS) ratio. Multi-year agreements are piling up as customers swiftly transition from prototypes to full-scale rollouts. Palantir has a huge long-term runway because the use cases cover almost every significant industry, including healthcare, energy, banking, and defense. AIP is emerging as the AI operating system for businesses and corporations that dominate operating systems, think Apple, Microsoft, and Alphabet, have a tendency to become industry titans. Without a doubt, the value is high, but Palantir may eventually reach its multiple if it can continuously increase its revenue at a rate of about 40%. It's not impossible to reach $30 billion in sales in the next 6 years with that kind of growth. In retrospect, that would make today's PS seem reasonable. In their respective domains of the AI ecosystem, both businesses are industry leaders. Palantir is developing the layer that makes use of Nvidia's dominant AI infrastructure. Palantir has greater potential, particularly if AIP takes over as the standard AI operating system, but Nvidia is still a good long-term investment. According to Bank of America analysts, a burgeoning market for autonomous vehicles might help companies like Nvidia, Qualcomm, and Caterpillar, as well as manufacturers of robotaxis. In a letter to investors on Tuesday, the analysts chose more than 24 stocks, including chip and sensor manufacturers and insurance companies like Progressive, to provide exposure to the growing AV sector, which they estimate may reach a valuation of $1.2 trillion by 2040. According to Bank of America, chip and sensor manufacturers Aptiv and Mobileye, as well as hardware behemoths Nvidia and Qualcomm, might see expansion as the brain of the cars. Nvidia processors are purchased by a number of US-based robotaxis firms, including Tesla, Amazon's Zoox, and Google parent Alphabet's Waymo. Along with a number of Chinese companies like Xpeng, Pony AI, and Baidu, Waymo ties also helped Uber and Toyota of Japan make Bank of America's list. According to the analysts, AV prospects may also be available to businesses involved in freight, logistics, and public transportation, as well as manufacturers of agricultural equipment such as Caterpillar and Deere & Co. The automobile has received the most of this technology's attention and implementation thus far. However, various kinds of off-road and on-road autonomous vehicles are starting to appear, suggesting that anything that moves may be automated, greatly expanding the market that this disruptive technology can reach, they stated.
Well, I was going to ask you about that next. So what do you want to say about it?
So what I would like to say is, even though nothing was said officially by the company in terms of the impact that AI had on those layoffs, I think that that could be a canary in the coal mine moment. And this is why I say that. The canary in the coal mine, I think, it portends what we're seeing with the advancements of AI, particularly around code generation. If we look back, Microsoft was a leader. Their acquisition of GitHub and the Copilot, they were able to really start and set the stage for auto generation. But that was more like predictive text, like when you're writing an email and it tries to figure out the next word in that email. We're in a completely different moment now. With companies like Cursor, the startup that's one of the fastest AI companies to $100 million, did it in a year. What they're doing is they're completely redefining what it means to use AI. This is like the equivalent of, instead of line by line and word by word, they can actually use the context of the emails that you've received, and then companies like Cursor can write the email for you. So when it comes to code generation, I think what we're seeing is the potential for not just a cyclical moment for Microsoft to identify efficiencies because they might be worried about what the market is going to be showing. I think we may be at the beginning of a complete structural reorganization of what it means to be a technology company producing software and integrating AI. I think no job is safe. It used to be, hey, go to college, learn how to code, get a great job, and you'll be safe. I don't know that we're there anymore. I think even when you look at people that have the jobs that are creating the AI, I don't even know if those jobs are safe anymore.
That's a scary proposition that you lay out, that the fears around AI, that maybe this is one of the first true moments of roles being either fully redefined or fully automated. And if a company that's right in the epicenter of artificial intelligence is telling you that and acting on it, gosh knows what is in store for everybody else.
That's right. Who else better knows, right? We see now that engineers on a daily basis are up to 70% of them are using AI as part of their daily workflow, right? And so what we see is the ability for these new tasks where before we said, oh, well, AI is going to do some of the more rote work, right? And they can do higher level work. I think now what we're seeing is a complete restructuring where there's going to be a new need for a new skill set to kind of oversee the architecture for the development of these models. But I don't know if we're going to see the need for some of these lower level engineers that are doing some of the more basic tasks. Now, we haven't gotten to the point where AI is able to produce code that's free of all bugs, right? Like they say up to, potentially 40% of the code generated might be bugs or duplicative code. So that brings a little bit of debt to the process where code bases may need to be completely redone. But AI is going to help there too.
So